All praises to Yahweh. All praises to Yahweh Shai. All praises for Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone that have been and continue to teach the true gospel. Salute to the Akim, spreading the true gospel on the streets and lanes of the city, on the highways and hedges, and on the World Wide Web. Much love to you, humble Aqua, who learn in science with all subjection, and are in righteous order under the men of Yahweh Yahweh Shai. It's the brother Raza from the Church of Philadelphia camp. And hey, the Lord just put in my spirit, you know, to go into basically let the dead bury the dead and kind of, you know, talk about how Christianity is dead. And not that, this is a direct reference to that, but I'm going to make a point, in regards to how Christianity obviously is dead. And, you got, again, so-called brothers, so-called uh, former men of the Lord, that basically fall out the truth, you know, and go back to Christianity, and you know, on the other hand, you got a lot of Israelites waking up and getting out of that. That it's really a epidemic. it's worse than the it's worse than the crack epidemic. It's worse than what they doing now, that fentanyl nonsense. You know, yeah, it's literally worse than the crack house, because now, just like you got zombies on the street, you've seen them, the ones that are on these drugs, and they just basically uh just standing uh bent over, right, in a pose that it's just like they're just stuck, right. That's a great example of people still in the Christian church, right. You are the walking dead, you know. You think you're doing something, you think you're moving, but the Lord has basically you know got you addicted to something worse than fentanyl, worse than crack. And you basically you're running there, you know, um, every chance you get, because you got some that go on Monday night, Wednesday night, Friday night, Sunday night, right, and do it all over again because they're looking for some answers. You ain't gonna get no answers there. Never have, never will. You know. So when the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai blesses us with this truth, hey, then we moving on. We moving forward. We're not even thinking about going back. Even to debate. Because guess what? It's really going to be nothing but a waste of time. Because you're not going to convince them, and Lord willing, they don't convince you to go back into that nonsense. Because that's what it is. It's a bunch of uh, uh, fairy tales that they learn from their master, so-called Esau Edom, right? They're just making stuff up, right? Winging it. That's what Christianity is. That you just pastors just be winging it, you know. But if the Lord gives you that spiritual eye salve, you'll know that, because that Christianity is a hell of a drug. And again, unless the Lord sups with you, you ain't gonna wake up out of that. And you got brothers, you know, that's just going back and forth, trying to debate, you know, and hey, some of it, is for edification's sake. But when you try to popularize this thing, Again, it's a waste of time going on their podcasts and going to their congregation. Yeah, I mean, hey, the time is really just to get into these prophecies, right? And when you debate these people, they're not gonna go into the prophecies because they don't know them, because the Lord's not supping with them to even know them, right? So you can rebuke them just by going through their doctrine and then going through the truth. You don't need to be going back and forth with them. You can do that right on the video, you know, and most of it's already been done by the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone, and then you go into it, even further by just putting up for true edification. Because all that back and forth is causing nothing but confusion and contention, you know? But enough of me babbling. Let's get into this precept. This is the book of Luke, chapter 9, verse. Let me go to 56. For the Son of Man, for the Son of Man has not come to destroy men's lives, but to save them. Yeah. Yahweh Shai came to save our lives with this truth and with his sacrifice, his own life that he gave, because he knew uh, the impending dangers that will befall our children's children, right, and so forth, right, and that we would be in this land of America going the hell off, and the fact that it's got to be a spiritual awakening because, hey, we're not going to be able to keep the law, statutes, commandments perfectly because of this type of captivity, right? And so, at the end of the day, hey, all Israel will be saved, but on this side, hey, they're gonna have to come back through the loins of the men of the Lord. So we got to know that two-thirds of our people, especially here in Babylon, aka America, is going to be destroyed through the missiles, right? It says, "For the Son of Man is not come to destroy men's lives, but to save them." And they went to another village, and it came to pass that as they went in the way, a certain man said to him, "Lord, I will follow thee whithersoever thou goest." And Yahushua said unto him, "Foxes have holes, and birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man hath not where to lay his head." And he said unto another, "Follow me." So, Lord, hey, let's go. You follow me, hey, let's get to it, you know? But he said, "Lord, suffer me first to go and bury my father." So he felt like he had to go back, which is, uh, you know, a lot of our people. But go back and really do what? You've had a lot of people uh, hear this word and they just can't get it. They can't get to the real music, the beat, the rhythm. They can't get to it, right? Got a lot of people that's heard this word. And they go right back to um, whatever they were doing, whether it was Christianity or Islam or whatever madness they're in. You know, they're unsure, or the Lord has made them unsure. And Yahushua said to him, "Let the dead bury the dead, but go thou and preach the kingdom of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai." Yeah, there's nothing else to do but to go and preach this word. You know, and if you're called, hey, you may suck with it for a little bit. You may do it, right? As again, some men have done, but they haven't been chosen. You know, they've been called to be an example of what not to do, because they go right back into what they've been doing, right? Go right back into the world, go back into Christianity with a twist, right? So then they do their own thing, right? Or just go back and again, because they came in to try to make a name for themselves, right? Crept in unawares, coming in through the back door, and then they go and go off into um just utter confusion with trying to teach the word, but teaching it really for contention's sake, and teaching it for their own vainglory, right? With just madness. You know, you got guys talking about some we in the new covenant, right? Because again, they just want to be seen, and then you've had people over the years that come after the apostles of GMS, and they're in utter darkness, gross darkness. And this is happening all over this country. Whether it's Mississippi, whether it's Chicago, guys, you know, was it Trident Fire, whatever that group is, a whole lot of different groups going back and forth, right? And you see what happens. They get bugged out. The Lord puts a seven spirits on them 7 times worse, roughly paraphrase. So it's a fearful thing to fall in the hands of Yahweh Shemel Shai, especially the ones that have tasted of this truth and go back. They couldn't finish the course. That's why you got to be humble and pray to Yahweh Shemel Shai, to continue, to for you to, continue in this walk. Continue to not just preach, but live the law, statutes, commandments. Because that's when you're alive. Other than that, you're dead. And that's why Christianity is dead. That's why Yahweh Shai told this guy, let the dead bury the dead. And we moving. Let's go. It says 61, and another also said, Lord, I will follow thee, but let me first go bid them farewell, which are at home at my house. For what? They're not coming. They're not coming with you. Matter of fact, they're going to mock and scoff and ridicule you. And any brother that's been in this thing for any amount of time knows that's what exactly happens. Uh, with our so-called family, with our so-called friends, right? With our so-called woman, right? Children, right? So, you know, and again, you talk to them 2 or 3 times, hey, and you dust off them shoes and get up out of there. There's just no reason, And we're telling you these things because these things are in the scriptures as examples. But you think you're going to be able to do something different, have a different result? No, you're not, because many are called, but few are chosen. And this thing is not about you know trying to get together a whole lot of people. No, this is a very precious thing. This is the narrow path. Like Christianity, the other religions, that's a wide gate. A whole lot of people walk through that gate. But this is a narrow one. There's not going to be a whole lot of people, and it's going to seem like and what it says is in an insane world, the people that are actually sane seem crazy. Because you're in an insane world. You know, and that's why 62 and Yahweh Shai said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Yeah, you put your hand to the plow, you got to keep working, no matter how hard it get, and it ain't gonna be easy. This is not an easy walk. So anybody tell you this thing is easy is lying, and it's probably gonna fall out very soon because this ain't easy. Nothing easy about it. It's not supposed to be. But again, you get your strength through the spirit, power, grace, and mercy, Yahweh Bashma Shai. And you're predestinated through the spirit, power, grace, and mercy, Yahweh Bashma Shai. Not through nothing that you think you know, or not through nothing that you do. That's why you give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashma Shai. And nobody else. Not no other man, no nothing. Right? Hey, we give double honors to the apostles. But at the end of the day, it's through the spirit, power, grace, and mercy, Yahweh Basham Shai. And that's it. That's where it starts, and that's where it stops. And so, hey, we're moving on. And we're going to continue to preach the kingdom of Yahweh Basham Shai. And Lord willing, uh we wake up the hopeful elect, because we may not even know when we wake up some members of the hopeful elect. But we just keep preaching the word, right? And make ourselves live and sacrifice on the highways and hedges and on the World Wide Web, right? On the streets and lanes of the city, for that righteous reward, So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Dash. Lord willing, this video was edifying to the hopeful elect. Until next time, Shalom.